Just wanted to talk, that's all.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back. So we just found out from Aaron Boone that Cam Schlittler has bicep pain. Not what you want. You can't make it up with this team. The amount of injuries that this team has is insanity. They said he went for an MRI. It came back clean. And I was supposed to open up with reasons for optimism. So I guess that's one, that the MRI came back clean. You know, maybe it's just a case of, overdoing it a little bit in his major league debut, wanting to light up the radar gun a little bit. But Cam Schlittler was an option to pitch tonight. Instead, the Yankees are going to go with a bullpen game right here out of the gate. Before we get to our reasons for optimism, reasons for pessimism, and the Yankees' urgency, let's talk a little bit about tonight's lineup, shall we? First lineup coming out of the break. Oops, that's the wrong screen here. Let me just figure out what the hell just happened. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got Trent Grisham leading off, and we got a call from Willie, who said he would rather see Jason Dominguez lead off. I agree with you. I think Dominguez is the future leadoff hitter for this team. He's had some success with it early on. We got Cody Bellinger batting second. He's playing first base tonight. Interesting that Paul Goldschmidt gets the night off right out of the gate, just getting an extra day. Aaron Judge, fresh off the All-Star game, didn't have to leave Atlanta. I've got him hitting 2 home runs in this series. He is batting third tonight. Jazz Chisholm, he of the home run derby, and he didn't do particularly great, and I'm okay with that because I didn't want him taking a million swings for the fences and wearing himself out or re-injuring that oblique or whatever he could have done. But he's in the cleanup spot tonight, playing second base. Jason Dominguez batting fifth. He is in left field tonight. I think he's going to come out of the gate strong. I'm always bullish on Dominguez. I'm not always right, but I'm always bullish on Dominguez. And then we got Ben Rice at your DH spot tonight. Interesting that Giancarlo Stanton is not in the lineup tonight, getting an extra day off. You know, you always want to cool him off as much as possible when he's starting to heat up. I think that's not surprising. And we got Volpe, who for some reason continues to hit higher than ninth. He is batting, I believe, 215 right now. He's batting seventh today in the shortstop spot. We got Austin Wells batting eighth in the catcher spot, and then Yorbit Vivas gets to start tonight at third base. So very interesting lineup here. Let's talk a little bit about some optimism and some pessimism here. I hope everybody enjoyed the break, but we got baseball starting up again in about 90 minutes. And as we kick off the second half, I just kind of wanted to do a little bit of vibe check. You know, reasons to be optimistic, reasons why it's okay to be pessimistic, and then why I think the Yankees should be urgent over the next several weeks. So I get that it's easy to be discouraged. This first half had its fair amount of what the hell was that moments. But if you're a Yankees fan that's looking for a reason to believe, real, actual baseball reasons to be optimistic about the second half, there is a list. And it is not fluff. We've got a lot of good stuff. So one, the trade deadline is within sight. We're a couple of weeks out. And I can tell you this much. Brian Cashman is not going to sit out the trade deadline this year. There will be moves made because the Yankees are within striking distance. And they have some clear holes to fill. They're not going to be crazy, but I do believe they'll be aggressive. And I think that they're already sniffing around for bullpen arms, for rotation pieces. And now that Cam Schlittler's hurt, you know, who knows what that's going to turn out to be. And we know that they're looking for a third baseman. Wouldn't shock me if they were looking for a shortstop too. But if they can bring in just a couple of real good contributors, a late inning reliever, you know, maybe like an Emmanuel Clase or something like that, and a professional hitter with a clue in high leverage spots, maybe a third baseman, this team looks a lot different. So help is definitely on the way. Luis Gil also on the way. Remember him? Rookie of the year, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, fearless. He is on the rehab trail, and he will be back soon. And if he comes back and he is the guy from the first part of last season, right, the guy who started off, I believe, 10-1, that changes this Yankees rotation significantly. Because then you got Fried, Rodon, and Gil a really solid 1-2-3 punch in any playoff series, right? And then you might add a veteran like Merrill Kelly or Zach Gallen as well. It's looking less and less like Freddie Peralta is going to get moved to the Yankees. But Merrill Kelly, Zach Gallen, two pretty good options. Also, Carlos Rodon, quietly having one of his best seasons. Nobody's really talking about this man outside of the Yankees universe, but for the first time since we signed him, he's looking like the guy that we paid for. He's pitching like an ace. And if not an ace, at least a very high level 2. He has been phenomenal. Cody Bellinger is healthy and having a 2023 year with the Cubs again, where he hit 307, he won Comeback Play of the Year. He's not quite at the MVP level, but he's reminding you with his athleticism, with his play on defense, why he was an MVP. The guy's back. He's just flat out back. Giancarlo Stanton got the night off today, but right before the break, he was starting to heat up. He was hitting the ball better to right field. He had a couple of big home runs in comebacks. He's one of these guys who's very dangerous. He can take a big chunk out of a lead by the opposition or, blow open a lead. Or, as we saw in the playoffs, break a tie, break a close game open. He's a monster. And as the weather gets hotter and the ball starts to travel more and pitchers' arms start to wear down, I would not want to be one of those guys who's facing a fresh Giancarlo Stanton. You might put one in the Hudson. There's been some talk about David Robertson possibly coming back to the Yankees. Now, you want to talk about trust. He is a guy that I trust in the postseason. Even though he hasn't pitched all year, that just means he's going to be more fresh. He is a professional. He still had a hammer for a curveball. I'll take him in a big spot over most of the guys that we got right now. You got Dominguez getting better and better every time he steps on the field. He started getting some more reps at the leadoff spot, which I think is going to be his ultimate destination. The power has not come around yet, but he's shown glimpses. Max Fried is going to be a top 3 Cy Young finalist as long as the health stays, relatively good. The blister could be annoying, but I like that they're giving him a few extra days. He's going to pitch against Toronto. Obviously, the Yankees face Atlanta to open things up, and they're going to have the bullpen game tonight. They're going to have Warren tomorrow and then Stroman on Sunday, but then they're saving their big 3 for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You're going to see Max Fried. You're going to see Carlos Rodon. And then we'll see if it's Cam Schlittler in the final game. We'll see. Maybe they're bringing in somebody else at that point. But day to day for Cam Schlittler, not an IL trip yet. And then they have a day off, and then they're home to face the Phillies and Rays. So, yeah, there is frustration for sure over some of the things that happened in the first half. Another bad slump. But don't confuse that with hopelessness. This team can definitely win.
You can't win.
No, they can win. They have a path forward, but they got to have an aggressive deadline. There is a boost to the rotation coming. Some bats are heating up. And the second half is usually about momentum and augmenting the roster. With the right moves, the Yankees can do both of these things, right? We're going to have Terrence Kemp on tonight to talk about optimism and pessimism a little bit here after Game 1 when we do State of the Yankees. So tune in for that. All right, so now let's talk about the reasons why we're pessimistic. And I still believe all the reasons that I just outlined for optimism. But this is pinstripe territory. We don't do blind optimism here. We're going to call it how it is, okay? So let's start with the obvious. The bullpen has been crap. It has not been good at all. Every game, I'm wondering who's going to cough it up tonight. Too many walks. Jonathan Loaizaga has been throwing batting practice since he's come back. Fernando Cruz, injured, has not been able to stay healthy this year despite being really good when he is available. Luke Weaver has not been the same guy since his injury. And Devin Williams, although he's been better lately, has not had a good year. And I'm still not sure about him in a big spot in the postseason. The Yankees need a big bullpen arm. We talked a little bit about Johan Duran last night. Obviously, Emmanuel Clasé's name is starting to get floated out there. Neither one of those guys will be cheap. David Robertson, you pull him in, maybe. But you got Clark Schmidt out for the year. You got Luis Heel coming back, but he's a question mark until he proves he's healthy. You got Fried dealing with blisters. Cole is gone. If one more guy goes down, the rotation might just be too thin. So you win with horses in the postseason. We're short on healthy ones right now. And listen, even when the pitching, does come back, it's still going to need to be supported by the offense. And right now, the offense with runners in scoring position has been brutal. Not unlucky, brutal. Not enough contact skills, too many dudes swinging like it's home run derby. They'll score 9 or 10 runs when you don't really need it. But when it's 2-2, the bats disappear. So they need to learn how to score in extra innings. They need to learn how to score situationally. They can't bunt. It's incredible. Nobody on this team can bunt. And these are not things that you can fix internally, right? Waiting on a spark plug from Scranton, probably not going to happen. It's an organizational thing. They're going to need to bring in people who know how to do these things. And the trade market is thin. Cashman's already basically warned of low inventory. And we've got two teams in our division who are trying to win the division along with us, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. And I'd imagine both of those teams are going to be aggressive. Right? Everybody wants pitching. There's not enough to go around. Everybody wants another bat. There's not enough to go around, so the Yankees are going to have to pay through the teeth. And let's talk about Anthony Volpe. I wanted it to work. I know a lot of you wanted it to work. It has not worked so far. He's not adjusting right now. He looks lost. We did a whole show about it last night. And if he doesn't turn it around, if he doesn't turn it around, we're going to need to look at getting a shortstop too. So, anyway, we are just a couple of weeks short of the trade deadline. So stick around. We'll figure this out. The Yankees do need a sense of urgency. Here's the thing. Hal Steinbrenner has money, okay? But he doesn't always want to spend it, right? And this team is basically an injury or two away from the season being in real trouble. If Judge gets hurt, if Fried gets hurt, the Yankees are in real trouble. So the Yankees have got to reinforce this roster now. Now. And some of the bad news is that Aaron Boone is still the manager. I mean, Aaron Boone is a guy who does not have an ounce of urgency in his body. That's to me his biggest weak point. They deal with struggling players for way too long before acting on it. They wait out the trade market too long and miss out on guys that they could have gotten. They need to act with urgency now. Not in a month. Not let's see how things play out now. Toronto and Boston are right there. Right there. And frankly, they're going to be aggressive. And I feel like a lot of times this organization feels like just showing up in the pinstripes is enough to get to the postseason. And it's not. The dog days are here. This is a stretch that's going to define the season. Teams are going to have to grind it out. And the Yankees are going to have to find a way to break through. So right now, the Yankees look like a team that they have a shot, but they got to push the right buttons and they got to push them quickly. I don't care about 11-2 blowouts. I want to see how you do in those tight 2-2 games late in the game. So I don't want them to vanish when things get tight. So let's see if they can dig deeper in the second half and not just sit around waiting for the 470-foot home run from Judge. Quick word from DraftKings, and I'll be back to take some final comments as we kick off the second half. Nothing says summer like long days, clutch plays, and firing off a few bets on the game. All with DraftKings Sportsbook. Pick a guy to go yard, hammer some live odds mid-game, or just ride with your squad and hope for the best. DraftKings customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code FOUL for new customers to get $150 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for a gambling problem. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. New customers only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio. All right. Got some comments here. Brian says it's right there in front of us.
Right there in front of us.
And, it really is. I know that's kind of a cliche thing, but it really is right there in front of us. I've got to jump off here and take a call here in just a minute, but I want to give you guys some final thoughts here as we kick off the second half. Samantha T says, remember that at the beginning of the year, she said she was done with the Volpe experiment last year and you got mad. Well, last year was too soon to be done with the Volpe experiment, but I think we've waited adequate amount of time now to say that patience has run out. Patience has expired. And it's time to, get some production, get our patience rewarded a little bit. And look, not every player is going to develop into a stud, right? I mean, there are guys who bust, and we might just be looking at a situation where we developed a guy that we had high hopes for, but turned out to be a bust. I got to run. I'll catch you guys soon. After the game, State of the Yanks. Take care. If you made it this far, do us a favor, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and join our community. You can also be a part of the show by calling in at 718-899-1068. Also, part of the way that we maintain and fund all of this is through nyydesigns.shop. Check it out now. Get all sorts of fun Yankees merch, hats, hoodies, zip-ups, beanies, mugs, you name it. We've got it. Check it out, nyydesigns.shop, and check out Pinstripe Territory on all your favorite podcast platforms. We are the official Yankees podcast of the Foul Territory Network. We're here for post-game shows after every single game, and we're here before a lot of games to talk about the game, preview the lineup, the pitching matchups, and things like that. And we're here all off-season to talk about the latest in Yankees rumors, news, etc. Join our community. We'll see you next time.